Greetings, everyone, and happy Fresh Friday. This is Akunna, and I'm reporting live from Seattle, Washington today. I recently returned from a trip to Nigeria, and it was an amazing time. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but Dr. Tao is here. He's going to go ahead and join us in, and we have some wonderful announcements. So welcome back. How's everybody doing? Type in the chat below. Greetings, Dr. Tao.
Great. Very well.
I am doing very well. How are you today? Good. Yeah, I was telling the viewers that I just returned from a trip to Nigeria, and it's kind of like I called you, on my first day back, and I'm like, it's hard. It's hard out here. Having a little bit of a hard time. And part of that reason I realize is because there's an abundance of nature over there. And coming back to the States, it's like you see all of the disruption of nature, what is actually supposed to be, per se. And I was just thinking about, like, one of the things I told Dr. Tao was like, I wish I had a sun-fired wrap right now. And part of the reason why is because when you walk into Juamoto, you feel that nature. The same peace I have when I'm in Africa, I feel that when I walk into the restaurant. Even look behind him, even what he wears, the decor in the restaurant, and everything that the restaurant encompasses is nature, natural. So thank you so much for being a taste of Africa in the middle of Charlotte. All right, so we have a special announcement today of a new dish that's going to be in the restaurant. Tell us a little bit about that.
But the caveat is it's fonio, so you can actually cook it and still remain alkaline. It's one of the few foods on the planet that you can actually cook and remain alkaline. So this is a African almond butter stew on fonio. So I'm gonna do it because I know people want the soup a lot, so I may do the soup on periodically throughout the spring and summer. But I'll kind of have the almond butter stew on fonio available throughout the spring for sure. So I know people sometimes people want a little warm option, especially on rainy days. So it will be on the menu tomorrow. So I was gonna make it today, but I'm actually fasting today as well. But yeah, it'll be on the menu tomorrow. So I'll take some pictures and we'll get it posted on the Instagram. So.
Okay, so it's
a stew, like, so it's a little bit more hearty. It's a little bit
consistency
thicker.
Is it like consistency?
It's kind of like a chana masala on top of rice type thing, but it's gonna be like kind of like that consistency. If people know what that is, I don't want to speak above your head, but basically like a little bit thicker than the soup would be, but you can kind of mix it. So the fonio will replace the rice, of course, and you kind of mix it all together. So it's very, very tasty. I made some earlier this week, so it's really, really good.
That's nice. Right. So be on the lookout for that. I always recommend people try new things and go out of their comfort zone, because that's how we grow. Growth happens outside of the comfort zone. We can't do the same stuff all the time. And honestly, a lot of foods that we eat are not like our native foods per se. We've got far removed from, what naturally we would eat. And what I'm realizing, I went to the grocery store today and I'm just walking through the aisles and I see all these colors and I'm like, these are all just imitations of colors that naturally occur in nature to grab you, the things that are more healthy, they try to make them green and all of that. And I'm like, this is like a joke. But yes, I'm really excited to try that. I want you all to try it, make some videos to let us know what you think of it, and tag us in those so we can post. I can't try it for another month or so, so I'm gonna live by you all. All right. So I expect to see those videos and those tags. All right. So up next, we are going to talk about a few different herbs that Dr. Tao has available in the restaurant, and they will be available online within the next week. So for those that are not in the area, you can still take advantage of these amazing healing herbs. So what's the first one we'll talk about today?
And this one is very good for anyone who has any type
white oak bark. Okay.
Fibroid tumors, or cysts, or any type of reproductive issues, especially for women. So basically, what they would do for this, they'll boil this for about an hour, and just strain it and make a tea out of that. What it does is shrinks the actual fibroids or any type of tumor in the body. And to help that work better, you actually add that with the red raspberry leaf, or you can combine that with the dong quai, and you make the tea out of that. And anyone dealing with type of reproductive issues, or maybe feel like they may have to get a hysterectomy of some sort or whatever, then you would, instead of giving hysterectomy, then you would go into, taking this herb right here, the white oak bark. And it's very, very powerful when it comes to shrinking and getting rid of tumors of all sorts. So this one's more so,
and is that something that
specifically
someone
for
can
that
take
reason.
every day?
So if you're dealing with that type of issue, or you feel like you are dealing with some type of tumor or cyst, then you can use it every day. But if you're not, then I don't typically recommend it to take every day. Some herbs you can take every day, but that's not one you want to go into unless you are dealing with that particular issue per se. But yeah, so which actually leads me to my next herb. Which is very familiar. This is probably the most popular one people know about, the burdock root. This is in powder form. Now, the reason I cover this one is because this is an herb you can take every day. Because this is something you can, it helps combat pollutions. It's a chelator, so it helps clean the cells out. And it helps clean up the lymphatic system before it enters the bloodstream. So it's definitely good for psoriasis or eczema. Many times people are dealing with skin issues of acne, whatever. The burdock root is probably king or queen.
I don't know if it's just my phone, but I can't hear you anymore. Can everyone else hear him? Is it just me? Okay.
Yeah, I had a call coming in.
There we go.
But yeah,
it's
so
okay.
basically this is something you can take every day, and it helps with the clean out the lymphatic system, the bloodstream, the kidneys, basically the whole system. So if you have any type of skin issues, then you would go into taking the burdock root or the burdock root powder, and just a natural defense against pollutions and all types of radiation. So that's very, very important.
Yeah. Right. And I know with the root and with the root
Exactly.
you mentioned in the past, it's better to boil them to extract. Okay.
So this one's always broken down. All you have to do is add it to some water.
Is it the same for the powder, or is it already broken down to a point where you
standard size bottle of water, then just combine about 2 tablespoons, shake it up, and you'll be good for the day. Do that. You can do maybe 2 or 3 if you have a serious skin issue, 2 or 3 bottles. Right. But that's all you would need for that, and it's very, very strong. That one could be room temperature. That one's totally fine. Yeah,
would
do that one.
Be hot water.
This is probably one of the most easy things to do when it comes to maintaining consistency. Typically, someone has a severe skin issue, it'll kick in about a week. Right. And you'll start to see your skin clear very, very quickly. So that's one of the most powerful. That's one of the herbs that I consider a superfood for me, but I found it to be superfood for most people. A lot of times people throw around the word superfood as a blanket statement, but everyone has a unique superfood based off their nutritional deficiencies. So, so a lot of times people say, "Oh, goji berries are superfoods, or blueberries are superfoods, or wheatgrass or moringa." Well, it depends on that person's particular genetic makeup and what they're deficient in, which will make that a food that's super for their actual biochemistry.
Right. Yeah. Seems like there are a lot of things that people make like blanket statements, but even down to like our like
Exactly.
background and such, certain things don't work for other people. So I found that I need to be careful as far as health advice for people
Exactly.
who may not have the same biology
Exactly.
as myself,
That's very
because it
true.
may work for
Very,
one group,
very true.
might work for another. So yeah.
All right, the last one is called
Awesome.
Muira
What's
Puama.
our last herb for the day?
Yeah, it's a tricky word. It's from
Muira
South America,
Puama.
Brazil, and this one is
Mhm.
for the male prostate. So it actually works as a libido as well, enhancer, or a, kind of like an aphrodisiac, if you want to say that. But it's mainly for the prostate to help shrink it if it's too large. So the prostate gland is part of the glandular highway. So you have your thymus, you have your thyroid, you have different glands throughout the body. So when you stimulate one gland overly, all the other glands become overly stimulated. So a prostate issue is also a thyroid issue, which is a hormone issue, and then a thymus issue, which is an immune issue. You see, so you're dealing with all these
Mm.
different issues because one gland get overstimulated. Now, the good thing about the glands is glands are like reptiles. You can cut it and it can grow back. So even if your gland has been ruptured or something going on with it, you can actually
Mm.
grow all glands back in the body. So keep that in mind. Also, the liver grows back as well. So you can cut the liver in half and it
Wow.
can grow back. That's what we call when you consume food, you're actually trying to put the plant's cells in replacement of the cells that are carcinogenic. So when you're consuming more plants in the body, you are giving yourself a true
Mm.
transplant. So the plants transient through the body, which
Wow.
actually is a true transplant, not going to a surgeon and trying to take out your liver and going and taking someone else's liver who is also sick to put into your body, which has a different biochemistry associated with it, different spirituality associated with it. You want to have the plants transient to the body, which is actually a definition of a transplant.
Right.
So, um, so exactly, it's right in the word,
Wow.
right?
And it
Yeah, the
literally,
last herb was called Muira Puama, which is a South American herb, which is good for the prostate. So, mm-hmm. Yeah,
you on.
I know it's a little
Oh,
tricky. It's a
okay.
little tongue, it ties your tongue up when you say a little bit, but
Okay.
it's very, very good for the male prostate for sure. And remember, your reproductive system is tied into your regenerative system. They're tied. They're tied together. So the health of your reproductive system is synonymous with the health of your body's ability to heal. So a lot of times we can't recover from injuries or sores or scratches or
Mm.
bruises or whatever as quickly as we like to because our reproductive system has been compromised in some shape or fashion. So that's very important when it comes to reproductive health. So don't think you're just doing something for
Wow.
your reproductive system. You're doing it for your whole entire immunity and whole entire body when it comes to that aspect. You see. So we say think before you
Right.
speak, but read before you
That's,
think.
yeah.
So you have to understand that before you can think of right
Mm.
thought, you have to understand which cultural paradigm you're thinking from to have a correct thought or a correct reckoning to think. So that's very important. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, and that ties into what we were saying before. It's like a lot of the things right now that people would consider medicine and stuff, those are imitations of the natural things that occur in the earth. It's like they did so much research and studying of those things and then extracted certain parts when it's really the whole holistic
Exactly.
health, the whole of it, instead of trying to dissect and do all this. So that's really good to know. And the fact that everything is really connected. You know, sometimes people will try to just one certain pill for a
Exactly.
specific thing, but a lot of times it's only for the symptom and it's not getting to the root cause. So the knowledge of knowing and
Yeah.
sharing the fact that these different things are connected, because
Yeah.
a
And a
lot of
lot of
us
times
lack
the
that
word
knowledge.
they throw the word
I
holistic
didn't
around
know
a
to
lot,
grow
but
back. That's
really it just means the way you learn and perceive the world is the same avenue in which you heal yourself. So if someone's very visual and they're very rhythm and tactile, very touch, they like to feel things,
mm-hmm.
then you would use color therapy along with crystal therapy to help heal that person, along with the herbal remedies to help that person. Now you enter 3 modalities to heal that person. So usually holistic health means at least 3 to 4 modalities to heal that person through the avenue in which they perceive the world. You see, someone is very audio, they learn through hearing things. Then you use sound therapy, or you use some type of frequency or binaural sounds to help that person heal, along with the herbal remedies, and then maybe another type of modality as well. And that allows the avatar, the human bioorganism, to correct itself based off the way it perceives the world. Because the way you perceive the world is actually indicative of how the body is trying to communicate with you as well. So I'm saying this is what I need. So if someone uses too much green, then you would use purple to heal that, you see. So green represents lust or money-hungry people. They use green everywhere. Use purple to help heal that. But if someone uses too much purple, then you use green to heal that. Because too much purple means someone's trying to hide behind religion, or they're trying to hide behind something, you see, overly spiritual, overly religious aspect. If someone uses too much yellow, then we use blue to heal that, you see. So the colors help heal other colors, understanding the color therapy. So you use that modality, first off, someone learning visually to help heal that particular issue. You see.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of the colors, I own a lot of black clothing. I wear black a lot, and I used to wrap my head in black all the time, and I'm drawn to white and to doing the white head wrap, and I just feel like it's a form of like purity and stuff. Because the dark, it absorbs a lot, right? So, we do have one question in the comments.
Okay, so we
Ebony
covered that
asks,
one about
herb or
Fusco.
tea
That's
for
the
sugar
Janina
craving?
Silvestre. It's called Sugar Destroyer. Or you can just get into a herb called chickweed, which is help with cravings, or you can do a mineral called chromium that helps with cravings, or you can use an herb called quassia that helps with cravings as well. So every time we're talking about a remedy, we're going to give, everyone's going to communicate through their lens. They're going to either give the mineral, they're going to give you the vitamin, they may give you the herb, you see, because they're all going to be the same name. So the chromium is going to be the mineral, the vitamin would be glutamic acid, you see, and then the herb would be chickweed. But you can also use a Janina Silvestre for that as well, to help with the sugar cravings. So those are all 4 ways you can kind of go into that. Sugar cravings all cravings come from nutrient deficiencies. All addictions are nutrient deficiencies. You can't become addicted to anything unless the body is deficient in some nutrients. So that's why people get addicted to substances, because the body itself is not healthy. So it's trying to fix something that's not there. That's why they call it a fix. But the fix is temporarily. It's a temporarily biochemical balance that throws the body into a further out of a chemical balance, you see. So it's like a cat and mouse game that keeps on playing. So an addiction is not wrong. It's just where the addiction is placed. So the thing is, we want to put the addiction in the right place so that we can have the right remedy. So addiction is basically defined by a fix that can never be fixed, you see.
I see. Yes. Yeah, because our body is always fighting to get back to equilibrium, right? But that can manifest in different ways of, like I said, the cravings or outs on the face and things like that. And a lot of people are like, "Oh no, I'm breaking out," and that's a bad thing. But it's actually a good thing though, because it's a sign. It's your body signaling. Sometimes it won't show
as a bump. It may come out as a temper, and it comes out as being, certain ways of your personality may, what you call annoyances or whatever. Those are actually personality or health symptoms as well. So they're not going to always be physical. You see, it's not going to always be a physical symptom. Sometimes it can just come out in the personality, which you say this person is just not easy to be around, whatever. That's for another person, that's acne. You see, but now in this person, it's a personality issue. You see, it can show up it can show up in the body, it can show up in the mind, it can show up in the spirit.
Right.
You see, it can show up anywhere. So we get fixated on the physical symptoms of something, but the symptom can show up as the mental symptoms as well, our spiritual symptoms that can show up as well.
Wow. And that's so important to note, because a lot of us don't know that we are sick because we've been sick for so long. So we think that's just normal. Like, there was a point in time where I was diagnosed with ADHD, and it was just like my mind was just so all over the place, but I thought it was normal for a really long time. And then when I found out this is not normal, I was going towards medicinal ways and things like that, but that wasn't actually getting to the source. It was actually making me feel even more crazy. But honestly, I changed the way that I eat and started focusing on what I was intaking, not just food, but also what I was watching, the type of music I was listening to, the environment around. That actually really helped me. And I didn't need to take any medication or have therapy or whatever, all those other things that they were trying to. And I'm not saying don't go to therapy if you feel that that's what you need, but I'm just saying there are other ways. And there are a lot of ailments that we suffer from that we don't even know that it's suffering until we get away from it.
Trying to channel its emotional vocabulary some way. So the purpose of culture is to drive your emotions. That's the purpose of it. When you don't have your cultural paradigm in context, you drive them into a tree. You drive it into a wall, which we call addictions. You may call, all types of issues that we may have within our people. So that's just understanding that's what culture is, your language to express spirit. That's all it is. So language is an expression of culture, and the culture allows you to do that. So that's why being grounded and rooted in that paradigm is so important. It's not an option. It's not optional. You can't be culturally centered one day and then decide to take it off and just kind of go back and forth. You can't serve two masters. You can't do that. So when you come here, you come and get recharged, and then you want to maintain that. You feel like you're getting weak again, you can come back here and get recharged until you can do it on your own. And that's the key.
Right. Because I would definitely say that when I felt the most well was when I was there every day. I'm well in my life. And that's, like I said, the environment, the food, the people, what I was intaking in many different ways. So thank you so much, Dr. Tao. All right. So this has been another episode of Fresh Friday. We covered a new dish that is going to be available in the restaurant tomorrow, which is, again, a almond butter stew on fonio. And I need all to post videos, to post pictures, post reactions. I really need like the food critic to come out, although there's not much to criticize when you're talking about food. But just let me know how it tastes, how it feels in your mouth, all of that, because I'm not going to be able to have this for like another month. So please, please, please help me out. And then we touched on 3 different herbs. Number 1 was white oak bark, which is good for the female reproductive system. And then we talked about Muira Puama.
Correct.
And Burdock Root Powder. So whether you are watching live or catching play, just know that these 3 are available at the restaurant Juamoto. We are open at 3 p.m. today, 5 p.m. on the weekends, and closed on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So you come on in, get some wonderful food. Like I said, the environment, it's really like like Dr. Tao mentioned, it's really like a recharge, and you all deserve that. So make sure that you come on in to get some of that. And yes, we'll be back next week with another episode of Fresh Friday. Make sure you follow both pages. If you came in from Dr. Tao's page, make sure you follow Juamoto's page. If you came in from Juamoto's page, make sure you follow Dr. Tao's page. It's all connected. It's all connected.
Just
anything else for
Dr.
Tao?
We're all out here, and we're all one village. Sometimes we get too advanced and thinking that because we're around these metals and machines all day that we're not a village, but we're still a village, and I'm just another villager. Just come to my hut. I serve food at my hut. I'm just your brother. So I come here, I serve food, and you go back into the village. So don't make it so don't make it so advanced. I'm just another one of you guys out here is trying to take back what's ours and perfect
Mm. Indeed. Thank you so much. That was beautifully said. So before we close, I'm just going to read one comment from Pata Sankova, who says, I visited the restaurant today and it was the
it.
best route
Yeah, appreciate
I've ever had. Very well seasoned, deeply grateful. And we are deeply grateful for you. Keep spreading the word about this village spot that you visited that just recharged your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit. Oh, one more
Oh
comment.
yeah.
Fifi
Go by
Lamore
like, hey,
says, I'm dropping in
Fifi.
hours for you soon. Sun fired for the win. Yes. Awesome. So we appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Fresh Friday, and we will be back next week with more wellness for